Hey guys, thank you for clicking this video. Just to let you know, this is a segment from my live streams that I do Sunday through Friday. Once again, if you want to catch the live stream, that is going to be Sunday through Friday, 6:30 Mountain Time. And if you don't know what time that is in your time, go ahead and Google it. But once again, enjoy the video, subscribe, and like this video. Back to the video. All right, so my question is, and it's probably a stupid question. Let me know. Like, I know it's a stupid question, but still, we have to wrestle with it, okay? Let's try to get into the minds of a racist, ignorant person. A person's mind that is stuck on stupid. I know it's going to be hard. You got to literally turn off parts of your brain to get there, okay? But why do people always feel, a certain kind of people, feel like they need to defend white racism? And I know, like, because maybe, you know, they're white, so they see something in them that they see in them, so they try to, like, be like, man, let's not be too hard on that person. You know, let's try to figure out every other reason why X, Y, and Z happened, or X, Y, and Z that was said. It couldn't be. Let's just try to, you know, brainstorm other options here. And sometimes I get it. Okay, if that's what you want to do, okay. But sometimes you just have to deal with the fact that some people are just going to be racist. They were nice to you. Okay, that's awesome. But they done said on record 1,000 racist things. Yes, they were nice to you when they said happy birthday to you. But at the end of the day, you can't just come up with excuses. And that is why I hate politics, first off. Because especially in politics, especially with the Republican Party, if we could get to a place to where we can say, hey, racism has no place in this political conversation, things will be a million times better. Maybe. Okay? We never seen that, but maybe. But no, we live in a world where that can't happen. And honesty is the only thing that can keep a country together, is if we're being honest. But if we can't say, hey, that dude said some racist things and he seemed to not stop, it wasn't just a one-off, this guy is a racist and we need to exclude him out the conversation. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. But no, we can't do that. And unfortunately, one of the biggest podcasts here on earth is making that example. Let's go ahead and listen to Andrew Schulz and Joe Rogan come up with 101 excuses on why someone like Charlie Kirk couldn't be racist. But
21?
All right, let's rewind it.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Let's see. I might, you know what? Just to be sure, just to be safe, because trust me, editing this would be a pain. So we're going to just throw the blockers. Once again, if you squint really hard and hold your phone like 2 feet away from you, you won't see the black lines. But the black lines is here for copyright purposes. Don't want to get in trouble. So trust me, behind these lines is Andrew Schulz and Joe Rogan.
Wild times. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wild times when people celebrate people getting killed now. Like, that never happened before. Like, even when someone bad got killed before, you're like, oh, wow, that's kind of crazy.
I've been thinking a lot about this.
Yeah.
And I think that, like, I don't think we all exist in the same reality anymore.
Now, let me just pause, okay? Hey, pause. He said he's been thinking a lot about this. And I watched this like 3 times, okay? He said, I've been thinking a lot about this. If this is you thinking a lot about this, you're done. You are not mentally capable of having these conversations, Schulz. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to censor you or say you don't have a voice, but we don't need to listen to your voice. Not every voice needs to be heard. I'm sorry. But let's listen to Andrew Schulz spending so much time thinking about this. Let's hear this out.
Yeah.
And I think that I don't think we all exist in the same reality anymore. Not on some multiverse shit,
right.
But just how
we see the world.
Yes.
Yes.
And it's especially with Charlie's death, because I was in Australia when it happened, so I had time. I wasn't doing pods, I wasn't doing stand up. I'm just sitting around in a trailer all day this movie. So I started watching a bunch of his stuff. Also, I want to say he did something really cool. I didn't really know him, but you DM'd a couple times, but he saw a headline about me once and he DM'd me. And I don't even have a relationship with this guy. He goes, "This headline looks a little weird. I know we don't really know each other, but is this what you meant?" And there are people who I know I've considered colleagues that haven't even afforded that to me. Yeah. They just ran with a headline and made a video, got clicks, views, or whatever like that.
Right.
This guy I don't even know hits me up and goes, "Is this what you meant?"
Yeah.
So his rationale is, I know Andrew Schulz has heard videos and clips of Charlie Kirk. I'm pretty sure he knew who he was. But his rationale is, he was nice to me. He sent me a message saying, "Hey, I just want to get clarification on this headline here." Oh, okay. He was nice to you. But what about all the hundreds of statements he done made about black and brown people, trans and gay people? What about all that hateful, racist stuff? Oh, I get it. That makes up for it because he was nice to. Okay, my bad. I didn't know that's how racism worked. Okay, my bad. Okay, thank you, Schulz, for clearing that up for me.
Very cool.
I met him once at a gun range.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I met him at Terran Tactical. So I was down there training. Do you know what Terran
This is
Tactical
the one where you see a lot of
yes,
celebs.
The one where you see celebs. He trained Keanu Reeves for John Wick. He's the man. Taron Butler is a multiple-time world champion shooter of those, the events that they have where it's timed or a shooter ready.
Yeah.
So I met him there. Seemed like a real nice guy. I didn't know anything about him back then. I didn't know much about his beliefs and views that were controversial until after he got killed. And then people started sending me stuff. And I was like, okay, what's the context of this? He shouldn't have said it that way. There was some ones that we've talked about before. One specifically, but look, the fucking guy, first of all, was 31 years old.
Yeah.
All right. When I was 31, thank God there wasn't Twitter. Or especially when I was 21. Oh my God! Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God. Judging that's like that Nick Fuentes kid. He's 26. Thank God. It didn't exist.
No, and I hate the chuckling. I hate the laughing. No, I'm sorry. I'm 38 years old. When I was 31, 32, I was still responsible for the things that I've said. I was still responsible for the things that I've done. It don't matter. Even when I was young, I never said nothing crazy racist like that. I may have said a few C words, which I don't know if I can say on YouTube. But I'm saying, I've never, degraded and demonized an entire group of people to the scales that Charlie Kirk has. So once again, what is too old to be you know what? Now you know better. No, Charlie Kirk knew better. He made money off of it. So he turned it up a notch. So I'm sorry. Once again, why are we trying to make excuses for a racist person? But no, once again, we see what they're doing here.
this when I was fucking 21.
Dude, yeah.
I was a fucking moron. I
Yeah.
was a complete moron, like most people, especially if you grow up around morons.
Yeah.
But I think he said a few things that if I was his friend, I would say, don't say it like that. I know what you're trying to say,
Yeah.
but don't ever say, when I go into a cockpit, I hope that the pilot, if he's black, is qualified. I know what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
You shouldn't hire underqualified pilots.
Yeah.
But saying it like that,
Just because of
you
the
have
color
to-
of their skin.
He's probably not hanging out with black people, not knowing how offensive that's going to be.
Right.
No, Jesus Christ, no. Charlie made a career off of saying things like that. Charlie was a smart man. Okay, if he wanted to say, hey, these airlines should not be hiring unqualified people, that's what you say. That's what you say. Let's try it again. If you want to say airlines should not be qualified or hiring unqualified people, boom, you see how easy that was? But you don't like stumble and say, okay, this is what I want to say. When I step onto an airplane, I got to make sure the pilot isn't black. Like, no, that's not how mess ups happen. We understand and understood that he intentionally wanted to say that because he intentionally had a point with that. But I'm sorry, of course, idiots want to try to defend racism. And is it because they're white, so they see someone like Charlie Kirk be like, you know what? We can't just let him go down like this. Because let it be a black person saying something crazy racist about white people or Asian people. Do you think they'd be coming up with these excuses? I personally don't think so. They'd be like, hey, this is an idiot. That was racist to say. They're not going to sit here and contemplate like, oh man, let's just try to figure out what he really meant. No, sorry.
For them, how you got to go, that's not what I meant. Like, you got to, that's not what I meant before you say it.
Yeah.
You got to run it through the filter. Like,
Yeah.
what am I trying to say?
Yeah.
We all don't want unqualified people to do dangerous fucking jobs, period. Doesn't matter what race they are. If
Again,
all of
I
a sudden white people became a minority and they had to start hiring dopey whites,
We'd be
how
upset. And
we
he
would
makes
be
that argument a
fucked.
lot. Like he makes it with sports. He's like, all right, if the NFL is going to be 50% black and,
Right,
like,
right.
so, but again, like the context is taken out.
Yes.
And I think that's what happened. Like the algorithm flattens all of us into a two-dimensional person. And
Yeah.
like only the views that tap into, your biggest insecurities, your biggest fears, not the views, only like the lines we say or the videos, whatever that tap into those things.
Or
are
what
gonna be
terrible things you
sent.
want confirmed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The things you won't confirm. Like that's what the algorithm does. And like I realized it when I was doing like a promo tour for Life, my last special, right? I would go on a couple pods that like, and like maybe like 10, 15, 20 minutes into the conversation, I would realize like, oh wow, they have a very different view of me than me.
The New York Times one.
No, well, the New York Times one, I was like expecting it for sure. But even when I went on Dax's podcast, Dax knew me, but his co-host, I was like, oh, she has an idea of me that's like cultivated by the internet and headlines.
Cartoonish.
Exactly, and it's
Yeah.
just a flattened version, right? It's like
Of
there's
course.
really no humanity in it. It's just these are the things that people are saying that I'm saying with no context,
Right?
And then you just create an archetype, and like. I think in a lot of ways that's the Charlie thing to the furthest extreme, right?
Oh, okay. Got you. Okay, so Charlie wasn't racist. It was the people covering Charlie and taking everything he said, right? I mean, because Charlie has only been doing his political career for like, I don't know, his entire damn life essentially. But like, yeah, people just took everything out of context. But here's the funny thing, especially after he was murdered, assassinated, like people went back to watch his videos full length. I did a few of his quotes. I wasn't going to do a Charlie marathon, but for some of the spicy ones, I was like, okay, people keep saying this out of context. Okay, let me listen to like 30 minutes. Okay, here's his quote. I listened to like 15 minutes before and 15 minutes after to get a good idea of what they were talking about. And I must have missed something. I'm sorry. Some things are just how it is. Not everything can be explained away by algorithms and like, oh, you just took it out of context. No. If a racist is a racist, sometimes that racist is just a racist. We know they exist. So why are they, not we, why are they sitting here trying to explain this away? I don't know. Hey, because when you're right, when you're right, it's all right, I guess.
Right? It's just like, if you're on the right, there's one version of Charlie. If you're on the left, there's another version of Charlie.
Right.
And when he died, this person that you saw as like a good, God-fearing man, you're like heartbroken by it. And then on the left, this person you saw that was like bigoted or hateful, you're like, okay, I'm not really heartbroken by it. Some people are even crazy enough to be like, he deserved it, or this is what you get, right? But they can only have that feeling if he's completely dehumanized the version of him that they see all the time. Mm-hmm. That happens to you. It happens to me. It happens to like anybody who's on the internet talking, for a few hours a week. And when I saw that shit, and especially I saw like this visceral reaction to Charlie, that's what sows the insanity in the country, because the people on the left are seeing the people on the right be heartbroken, but they're like, why are you heartbroken over this guy who's a bigot? And the people on the right are seeing the people on the left celebrating. They're like, why are you celebrating the death of this God-fearing family man? And both sides just think each other is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
When in reality, he's neither of those cartoons.
Right.
Right?
He's neither. Hey, here's a hot take. He was neither of what people thought of him. Hey, Andrew, stop. Please stop. You are embarrassing yourself. But unfortunately, this video here, over 500,000 people are listening. People are watching. And then, the slow individuals are going to take this and be like, oh my God, he's right. Let's break this down. People on the left saw him a certain way. People on the right saw him a different way. Obviously. But do you think a hateful person can be celebrated, can be loved? A hateful person can be. Let's reverse this. Like Malcolm X. Once again, people on the outside of the black community saw him as a hateful person. Damn near a terrorist. So many other things. But in the black community, we saw him as an ambassador, a representation of what black people can strive to be. A hero. So yes, I get the dynamics here. But when it comes to, at least me, if someone says, oh, how could you celebrate someone like Malcolm X? And be like, hey, during his time, this is how he felt. He said a lot of crazy things, calling white people devils and all this. I got to own up to it. But like, yeah, I support the entire person. Because that was his mindset. I'm not going to sit here and be a coward and be like, oh, well, I'm just going to nitpick. And like, no, sometimes, man, if you are celebrating a person, if you look up to an individual, you got to take that person as a whole. Don't be a coward and be like, oh no, I'm going to pretend he didn't say these crazy things. Nah, that's simple. But with Charlie Kirk, I don't know why some of these white folks just don't understand that. Just say, hey, he said a lot of racist things, but he was a Christian and he had conservative values that I look up to. Got to take the good with the bad. But don't sit here and try to play people as if we're the crazy ones. As if we didn't hear what we just did. No, we heard it. We've been hearing it, at least myself, for the past 10 years. So don't try to whitewash it. Just accept it as it is.
Let's see how you do under pressure. I've been wanting this shit forever. I've been in the field with whatever they throw at me. Brush it off, pick myself up, moving on to the better. Ain't no errors, baby, it's a new era. I wake up early, feeling rich like I'm Kesha. I get to the paper, boy. Extra. Fuck with me.